If you're a data pro using Snowflake, you know that really mastering it is way more than just writing queries, right? It's about getting its core philosophy. Today, we're going to climb what I like to call the pyramid of Snowflake mastery, starting with its foundational architecture and going all the way up to advanced optimization. Let's get into it. So here's our game plan. We'll start at the base of the pyramid with the foundational architecture. Then we'll build on that with some essential safety nets, like time travel. From there, we'll climb higher to modern automation with Git. And finally, we'll reach the peak, mastering cost and performance. So what's the real secret sauce behind Snowflake's power and speed? Honestly, it all comes down to its unique, decoupled, three-layer architecture. If you can get your head around this one concept, everything else about the platform is going to click into place. Just think of it like this. You've got a brain, the muscle, and the memory. The cloud services layer, that's the brain. It handles all the smart stuff like security and planning your queries. The virtual warehouse, that's the muscle, giving you all the raw horsepower you need. And the storage layer is the memory. Now, what makes this so revolutionary is that these three layers are completely independent of each other. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine your data storage is a massive central library. The virtual warehouses, they're like different research teams you can hire on the spot. You could have one team just focused on loading new books into the library, while another team is doing some super complex analysis on books that are already there. And the cloud services layer? Well, that's the master librarian, making sure everyone has what they need without ever bumping into each other. So what does this actually mean for you in the real world? It means your big data loading jobs will never slow down the dashboards or analytics team is trying to use. Everyone gets the power they need exactly when they need it without any bottlenecks. It's a huge deal. Okay. Now let's see how this architecture actually protects your data. Because once you understand Snowflake's built-in safety nets, you'll probably never look at data management the same way again. First off, the organization is super simple and should feel pretty familiar. You've got your main account at the top. Inside that, you create databases. And inside each database, you have schemas, which is where you put your tables, views, and all that other good stuff. It's just a clean, logical way to keep things organized. All right, let's talk about that heart-stopping moment that every single data professional dreads. You know the one, you're working late, you run a script, and suddenly you get that cold feeling. You realize you just deleted millions of rows from a production table. In a traditional system, this is a full-blown crisis. You're scrambling for backups, there's downtime, it's a nightmare. But in Snowflake, that crisis is pretty much a non-event, all thanks to a feature called time travel. And no, it's not sci-fi. It's a built-in feature that automatically saves the state of your data before you change it. It is literally like having an infinite undo button for your entire database. And here's something people often get wrong. You don't need to set up any complex backup schedules or snapshot policies to get this protection. Time travel is just on by default, working quietly in the background, ready to save your bacon. Just how powerful is it? Well, with the Enterprise Edition, you can travel back in time up to 90 days. Think about that. You can query a table as it existed a minute ago, an hour ago, or even 2 months ago to recover from a critical mistake. It even works on a huge scale. Let's say you accidentally drop a schema, or even an entire database, no problem. A simple command like undrop database brings it right back. Tables, data, everything, as if nothing ever happened. It's an absolute game changer for peace of mind. Okay, so we've got a solid foundation and a killer safety net. Now we can focus on building modern, repeatable workflows. This is where we bring in Snowflake's native Git integration, which lets you connect your data platform directly to your source code. And this setup is surprisingly simple. It's really just a 3-step process. You create a secret to securely store your Git credentials, then an API integration to point to your repo, and finally, a Git repository stage. Think of this stage like a local clone of your remote repo, living right inside Snowflake. So why does this matter so much? Well, it means you can run your deployment scripts directly from your main branch, which guarantees consistency. You can manage all your Snowpark and Streamlit code right alongside your SQL. And really, it lets you build true auditable data ops pipelines where every single change is tracked and versioned. And using it is incredibly seamless. With a single command, you can run a setup script directly from your Git repository. Just imagine using this to configure new accounts or deploy changes across all your different environments. It's so powerful, repeatable, and reliable. This brings us to the very peak of the pyramid, true mastery.
Once you get the architecture and you've automated your workflows, the final step is to proactively manage your account for the best possible performance and cost efficiency.
We've all been there, right? The monthly bill shows up and it's a little higher than expected. But here's the secret. Snowflake logs everything about its own usage. The answer to why your bill is high is already sitting in your account inside a schema called account usage. One of the classic low-hanging fruits for saving money is finding warehouses that aren't set to auto-suspend. A really simple query against your own account data can instantly show you these zombie warehouses that are just running and burning credits when nobody's even using them. It's like finding all the lights left on in an empty building. Another huge factor in your bill is storage. Over time, accounts just build up these large tables that nobody uses anymore. With another quick query, you can find every table that hasn't been touched in over 90 days. This lets you make smart decisions about archiving or deleting data, which directly cuts down your storage costs. And let's be clear, this isn't about pointing fingers at people. It's about evolving from being just a user of the platform to being a true master of it. By using Snowflake's own data, you can manage resources efficiently and turn these small, simple changes into really significant savings. So let's recap our journey up the pyramid. We started with that foundational architecture that makes everything possible. We built on top of that with the incredible safety net of time travel. Then we automated our processes with Git integration for a modern workflow. And finally, we learned how to use Snowflake's own data to optimize the entire system.
So I'll leave you with this one challenge. Based on everything we just covered, what is one simple optimization you can apply to your own Snowflake account this week? Maybe it's just checking for auto-suspend on a warehouse or finding one old unused table. Give it a shot. Thanks for tuning in.